So there are like a couple different characters in that video that I'm playing. There's the party girl that we don't really get to see. I didn't want to see her in focus until we got to bum 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 ba bum 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 bum. Because she sort of like exists as like a little bit of like a dream ghosty until she comes into focus. And before that, there's the late afternoon girl, she's in her little boudoir and she's getting ready and she just has her little gauzy thing on and is just full of dreams and wishes and looking out the window. Alcohol is referenced all over this video. I mean, the party girl, she's holding a lot of drinks, and Preston Martin, who directed the video, really wanted to, he wanted a lot of wine corks. So even before we get to the drunk girl, it's just like hinted at. So that gauzy girl who's getting ready and with her tool and it's just like everything's just kind of pink and soft. She's playing around in a bunch of wine corks, just like drowning in them. And then there's there's a gesture with a cup that she has at a little vanity, which is this, it's this clay. I mean, it's clay that's meant to be like, like a facial clay, but we just got a bunch of it and said, let's just put it everywhere. And so part of that, you see those cuts going back and forth between like, it's really happening, it's not really happening. The clay is sort of like, what if I just did this ridiculous thing and just like got myself so dirty? Is it happening? Is it not? What if it did? There's a real like choppiness to the editing, which I love because it's I love how jarring it is, and sort of angular because it's, I don't know, it speaks to something about like, this is not a even though sometimes this little desire is sung about in like a real sweet way, there's something about it that's sharp and cutting and a little dangerous. And we wanted there to be like that girl in the warehouse with her little outfit and a bunch of headless mannequins. She's like the fullness of the reckless. She's the reckless one. And we're like, are we afraid of her? Do we want to be here? I don't know. She's kind of gonna come and take over, but there's something like a little dangerous about it.
Yeah. In the video, we mostly just see you, but then we see you with these mannequins, and so I immediately perceived the mannequins as like some element of the party, like you're partying with the mannequins. And it made me think about how sometimes when one is being reckless, like the people around you like can sometimes come off like that. Like, who are these people? They're props in my own like
Yeah. Yeah, that was a really fun thing. So we went down, I was trying to source some mannequins because we knew we wanted to have a party with out people. And I was going to rent some mannequins. We were going to rent a space, and I was, looking at some different warehouses that had them. So we went down to this warehouse to see, because they had a bunch of different kinds. And this woman who was showing us around said, well, for how much you want to spend on the mannequin, you can just rent the warehouse for the same amount of money. And we said, are you serious? And she gave us a little contract, and so we spent a couple hours one morning there in the back of the where they weren't working and just let us play around in this warehouse full of mannequins.
That's awesome.
That's very good. It's a good find.
I also love the shot where there's one shot that happens so quickly where you like spit the cork out of your mouth, and it feels so cartoony. Like when a cartoon character like lands in some sort of trouble and like spits out whatever the
Sure. Or like their teeth. There's a lot of there's also this gesture. Preston was really into like this incisor lick. This like he wanted to see every character do. Oh, and the moon character, that was fun. We took a day where we just like, we found on YouTube some tutorial of how to make your face look like the moon, and we spent a night doing that, and just like, that was fun to find out how she moved to the moon. She had this real slow always in motion, but like very slow.
The moon character is the one that comes in at the second verse.
Yeah. Have you heard about the moon? There she is. Yeah, she's just sort of watchful and present. But yeah, I love this little incisor lick that everybody does at some point. It's like so provocative and aggressive and like just for a second.
There's also, I think it's really in the last chorus, there's a bunch of shots that it starts to become unclear what is forward and what is backward.
Yes, absolutely.
Which I think is very similar to how we treated the production and arrangement of this, where like you take something and then you flip it over and then you mess with it and then you flip it back over and then you mess with it again, and at a certain point like forwards and backwards, all kind of becomes cubist in a way, like you're just seeing different angles of the same thing, but it's not really linear.
Yeah, exactly.
I am the only drunk girl at the party.